All right, to watch this video for Tuesday, February 28th, last day of February. This buy hit new all-time highs again today. Quite the narrow range. I mean, it's just a narrow day. Not a lot of follow-through on stuff, but market's holding up very strong, so I'll just go about my list, right? PHMD, huge move back here, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and then it kind of ripped on volume above this recent lower high in early February. Came back down, base, popped a little bit on Friday, and then you kind of have an inside day on today, on Monday. So I love it over this 2-day high. You might come up, maybe get a big pop. Lower float stock, you might retest that 3. We'll see. Deserves to be on a chart. PULM, I had this on a chart all day, and then it did this in the last 10 minutes. Of course, I'm not hanging out to the last 10 minutes of trading, but now it's really interesting to me going into tomorrow. There it is on 15s, 60s. So you had this big move back here, and you're kind of flagging and starting back up. Certainly one to watch in the morning because of that late day spike. HRTX had a little extra volume today, taking it right back up to the highs from mid-February, which was 15.15 is what it hit there, and it hit the same price today. So let's watch it over this, I don't know, 2-week high. See if it gives a good setup. CUR, same thing. Had this on a chart all day. Love this little flag on the daily. Go to intraday, and this all happened in the last, looks like the last half hour. I don't know if this had news here or not. I haven't taken the time to look, but the chart looks pretty darn good. Up over 450. This one might squeeze, so definitely like that. We'll go on a chart. GALT was on watch for a break over 190, and it never did it, but I still like it over 190. You've got like, it's kind of a 3-day high, and it's holding up pretty well. Nice volume on the up days. Not in love with that one, but it goes on a chart. VRAY, good news today and had a huge pop. Got long this thing. See that little flag right there? I actually called it when it looked like this in the chat that I like this in the high 590s. Thought it might start taking out this high and this high, and then it flagged there, and I actually added at 610 right there. And then we got that break, had the biggest volume candle except for the one where it came out of the halt. But didn't quite follow through. Still made a big chunk of money on it because we were just buying, and then once we broke this flag, I literally was thinking this might go to 7, but just like I teach traders in our room, we don't know if it's going to 7. I loved everything about it. I love the fact that it ran up, halted, and then sold off, and next thing you know, it puts in a lower high, and higher lows, and it's just coiling. So that's why I liked it right in here, and then above this flag. And again, like 250,000 shares in 5 minutes on that break. That's a combination of, you know, people chasing as it's running, but also a combination of shorts covering. And I was able to get a really nice trade in that. Unfortunately, it didn't follow through, but as long as you trade with the right mentality, right? I was looking for this, we'll call this an inflection point, right? This flag break after the halt, and the higher, higher highs and higher lows and the coiling. Anyway, that's kind of an inflection point right there over this little flag. And this is the kind of volume we were looking for, right? This is, again, shorts covering, other longs chasing, and because we got in as it's kind of getting up to this area, the 6 and 610 area, then we can scale out into that massive volume. Again, I was hoping to be selling some at 7. I threw out offers. Some of my offers got filled on the way up, and then as it started to roll over, I was out the rest. Made some good money in it, but I definitely want to watch this again because it had massive volume for this stock. Closing well off its highs. And remember, I'm going to reiterate this one more time. Nobody knows where a stock is going, all right? I know what I'm looking for as far as inflection points and where shorts are going to have to cover, where I can get long and then scale out into that volume. But I never know if it's going to go crazy, right? $7, $8, $9, or if it's going to roll over. So we always, whenever we get that spike we're looking for, in this case, like right here and then here, we always scale out some, right? Scale out into strength. If you're a newer trader, I can't emphasize that enough. And your entry is so important too, because if you enter right, you're green right away. But you always want to scale out into strength, always keep some with a break-even stop in case it goes parabolic. That's a fun problem to have, but defense first. I cannot emphasize that enough. So even though VRAY only went up about 30 to 40 cents from where we were buying in, that's still plenty of money to be made. I had higher hopes. Definitely goes on watch for tomorrow for a possible follow-through day. Weight Watchers WTW, a little volume spike today. Up, you got a high here, lower high, and it's trying to take this out. Now, it's come a long way in a short period of time. You don't ever want to chase stuff, but I'm going to put that on a chart. This is not an easy trader, and I don't have any kind of price for you. I need to see how it trades tomorrow. Definitely worth watching. PTX, this one is a little weird looking, but it did gap up last week. Opened at 409, went as high as 440 before rolling over. Then put in a green day the next day, and then today put in a higher high. It took out Friday's high, and so if you look at it on 15-minute basis, you can kind of picture a line right here. If it can get up to this area, sort of might get fast to the upside again. Again, I don't have a trigger price for you. I definitely want to watch it though. It's interesting. Late in the day, it did get a little volume spike. So this one goes on watch for tomorrow. We'll see. It's not the prettiest chart setup I've ever seen, but with the proper intraday setup, we might get a little mini squeeze. And then lastly, I have NVFY, which had a huge 2-day, 3-day rip from here to here. Now you're a couple days lower on lower volume right into the 20-day. I'm going to look for this to turn back up tomorrow. That's it. We're going to add some gappers in the morning as well as this list, and hopefully we can catch a nice trade in the first couple hours and be done for the day. All right. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.